Hello everybody, welcome to Project Beauty, where we talk about project planning and everything beauty related. My name is Jen. So today we are going to be discussing some palettes that I have been using for the last month. One is actually used for the last 3 months and I haven't weighed that one yet, so I will do that with you guys on screen. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the project first. So this is called Eyes Project Pan, which is Enjoy Your Eyeshadows. And it was created by Deb from Deb B here on YouTube. And it runs from January 4th to December 31st of 2024. And there are monthly updates on the 4th of each month. So there's no rules. You create your own goals. You can take other projects and use that style in here. You can just decide to use whatever you want and put it into the video and show the things that you've used without the month. You can talk about eyeshadows that you use in other projects throughout the month, as long as you like enjoyed them and all that stuff. So the only rule that there is that you have to do a peek and a pit each time that you do these updates. So I usually forget, I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember that stuff, and I love this project because it's so easy for me. Like, other projects are easy for me as well, but this one is just so mindless. You just use your stuff and talk about it. It's so great. I love it. So we're going to talk about the stuff that I used in March. The first one is the Morphe 18, it says 18 Matte Essentials. 18 WT Matte Essentials. Now, I do not support Morphe. So just, I want to make that clear. I don't support Morphe. The only reason I bought this is because it has all matte eyeshadows in here and they're all neutral. And I thought this would be a really great kind of palette to have. I didn't buy it because it was Morphe. I bought it because it was like 50% off. So these eyeshadows are actually not too bad. I used them a couple times and they had the longevity and everything, which is great. I do enjoy that the palette stays upright when you open it and there's the names on here, which I would prefer this be clear so I could put it over top of my mirror, but that's okay. I don't really need eyeshadow names in this palette, if I'm being completely honest, so I could probably just toss that. That's fine. But I really do like the way that this is formatted. It goes all the way from light all the way through to the darkest color. I do wish there was a really, really, really dark brown in here. That would have been perfect for me. If this one was more like almost black brown as opposed to the same as this shade. But I like that there is a plethora of option of light shades and mid-tone shades. But the deeper shades, I'm fine with this many, but there should have been at least one like almost black brown. Other than that, this is a great palette. I have it down as good because it's like a good quality, a good palette. It's like plastic. Everything's pretty much good about it. There's nothing that's standout performance or anything like that. It's a good palette. So I put it down as good. So that one will be going back into my collection. The next one I used was the Dominique Cosmetics Coral Blossom eyeshadow palette, and this was gifted to me from Valerie. And this one is very pretty. Very, very perfect for spring. I like the range in here. Again, like there's two peaches that are very similar. I would have kept the more punchy one and changed maybe this one to like a dark, dark brown. Or I would have changed this super like warm brown. Like it's almost like an orangey red brown. I would have changed that to like a really dark brown. Other than that, this is a really great palette. I like the color story. It's very cute and simple for spring, and I'm very thankful that I have this in my collection. So that was a super nice and thoughtful gift from Valerie. So that's a good palette too. The next one is the Beauty Bay 42 Color Neutral Eyeshadow Palette, which is a big stunner. Love this. I'm not going to lie, the performance was good. It wasn't incredible like I have really enjoyed the other palettes, but I'm wondering if it's because I have been using so many other really high-end eyeshadows that are just great quality, long lasting, all that stuff. So I would like to continue to use this again at some point, so I will probably throw it into another project in the future. But also right now I haven't been able to give it as good of a shot as I wanted because I am panning a neutral palette. So there, you know, I'm not really, I'm able to use these maybe once or twice in the month alongside my other palette, but that is my main focus. So until I really get a good amount of pan on that palette, I'm going to be using the things that I bring in maybe once or twice, which is really the goal. But it doesn't give me a good enough opportunity to form a great opinion on things unless I've already used them in the past and I know. But anything new, it doesn't give me that opportunity to form a solid opinion. Just sort of like a first impression, if you get my drift. But again, good palette. The next one and last one in here is the Jeffree Star Cremated palette. I would love to cover this up, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I do love the makeup and everything. It's just a little, yeah. Anyway, this is a good palette too. This performed nicely, stayed longevity on the eyes, all that stuff. Cool tones are not exactly my thing. I like neutrals mostly than anything, but they performed well. So I would say this is a good palette as well. So I'm going to be honest, I don't actually have a peak and a pit. Everything was just sort of the same. If I had to choose a peak, I would probably choose this one because of the sheer volume of choice. You get a ton of selection, and I don't really have a pit, if I'm being honest. I think they all performed well. Now, I just have to put one thing away here. I'm going to talk to you about the items that I'm bringing in, but first I want to discuss the Nearly Natural eyeshadow palette. So this palette I brought in for the length of 3 months. So it's a quarterly refresh that me and Kim and Andrea are working on. So Kim is from Teacher Loves Beauty and Andrea is from Pretty as a Peacock. Kim is often updating. She's been away for a little bit, taking a tiny break, but Andrea is taking a very long break, a very long, much needed break, and I don't blame her. But she is doing this behind the scenes. So the girls and I have decided each quarter we're going to change an eyeshadow palette out and make this a 3-month focus. So this one was a Glaminatrix Cosmetics Nearly Natural palette, and in the beginning, without the sleeve, it weighed 237.22 grams. So I'm just going to put that on here. It gained a whole bunch of weight. Oh, you know what? I think I need to take out this. Let me see if that makes a difference. Okay, so now it's 236.55. So almost a gram used. I barely used it, I'm going to be honest. I maybe used it a couple times each month, but more than I would have used it if I only pulled it in for the 1 month. So happy to have this used. This was actually gifted to me from Andrea, and also Andrea, Kim, and I all owned this palette, so we were like, we have to bring this in to one of the quarters. So this was like a definite must that we needed to do that. So that one will also be going back into my collection. So for the month of April, because I'm so heavily focused on my Pan That palette and I want to really, really focus on it and use it, what I'm going to do is bring in our next quarterly thing, like our, I say thing, but like the next option for the quarter that Kim and Andrea and I are doing. But it's also going to be my eyeshadows for the month of April, because I want to really give a good focus to these, but I also want to be able to pair it with my Pan That palette, and I think this would be the perfect way to do that. So for April, May, and June, we're going to be bringing in single eyeshadows. So I'm going to be bringing in all of these. I believe I have these in a project right now as well. I can't remember. I think I have a couple more uses to go in a project, but these are all eyeshadow singles from Terra Moons, Shine by SD, and Glaminatrix, and they're all incredibly beautiful. So I'm going to bring these in just to use for the next 3 months. And then also, like, of course, for my project and stuff. So when they roll out, they'll still be in this. And then I'm also going to bring in this Give Me Glow eyeshadow palette full of singles as well. And I feel like this is the most beautiful palette. It's just neutral, but with pops of color, pops of shimmer. You can get a neutral look out of this. You can do like a spring look out of this. I feel like it's the perfect time of year to bring this in. I love the mint shade and how it's pairing so well with that one. I love this like pop of purpley blue in the corner. This is Uninterrupted. Is that what it's called? Unexpected, pardon me. This is Uninterrupted. So Uninterrupted from MAC, and then Unexpected from, is it Give Me Glow? Oh my gosh, I just looked at the label. JD Glow. Which JD Glow will be changing their name, by the way. They're in some court proceedings right now with another company who's saying that they need to change their name. So they're going to be changing their brand to a whole new thing, but they're still coming back. Just so you guys know, that's a thing. Just check out their page on Instagram. But these are the ones that I'm going to be using for also the month of April, May, and June. So I have 2 palettes that are coming in for quarterly. I'm also, now this one I might even just keep in for the whole year, kind of like behind the scenes. So I will randomly update you guys with this, but that's the MAC Power Hungry eyeshadow palette. And the reason I'm bringing this in is because it was in my 50 Shades of Gold, but I have since done the finale for that, even though it was early. But I use this one and this one and this one almost every single day, mostly this one. And so I would love to be able to hit pan on this. Actually, I'd like to be able to hit pan on both of these if possible, but it takes so long to use MAC eyeshadows. But it's been almost a year that I have been using this alongside other brow bone shades as well. So I haven't been like faithful to this one, but I would really like to try to be faithful. And also, like, I know I'm gonna hard pan these using my fingers, but some of these eyeshadows are just stunning. This taupey one, so pretty. Oh my gosh. I know these are boring and neutral, but this one's super boring, let's be honest. But that's okay. I have other singles in here in this month or whatever, this quarter, that I'm going to be using. So I will show you guys these for like at the end of the month where I'm at, but I'm not going to weigh them until the quarterly part. And then in May, I'll change, like I'll add in other ones that I want to use. So I hope that makes sense. I just want to make sure that I give these 3 palettes the most attention along with my Pan That palette, and they will pair very, very well with my Pat McGrath palette. So that is everything for the Eyes Project Pan. You know what I should do is I should weigh these 2 singles palettes together. So I'm going to put this on top of this, and then I'm going to put it backwards like this, and then I'm going to weigh it and see what it's at. Oh, it's doing something funky. There we go. Okay, so we're starting at, oh, it's way too heavy. Okay, so let me do this again. So the little palette is 192.96 and the large palette is 420 grams, 0.45. So I will show you guys what that is in 3 months, but that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out Deb, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.